In today's short episode of Interview Connections TV, I'm going to talk about how important it is to follow up. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for today's episode of Interview Connections TV. I'm down here by the bay, actually filming a few episodes, so if you watch the past couple weeks, all right here at Rocky Point at the bay here in Warwick, Rhode Island. In today's episode, it's going to be a short one, but a very, very important lesson. It's about the importance of following up. Now, this is going to apply to, anything in your business, whether you're following up with a prospect, but specifically here on Interview Connections TV, we're talking about following up with podcasters, following up with guests for your show. A lot of times at Interview Connections, when we're booking our clients for interviews on other shows or when we're booking guests for our clients' podcasts, we send that initial email, we get them booked, the person says, yes, we would love to do this interview. And then we make the email connection of here's the information, how to schedule your interview. And then they don't schedule. And, you're sitting there going, well, they said yes to the interview. Why haven't they scheduled? Well, the reality is it's because it wasn't at the top of their priority list. So whenever you're doing an interview, whether you're booking yourself on another podcast or whether you're having someone on your show, podcast interviews are a form of content marketing. It's a way for you to grow your business, but it's not one of those urgent and important must happen now, client activities that are on the top of your priority list every day. So a lot of times people need to be followed up with in order to make sure your interviews are getting scheduled. My team and I, we really love a couple of cool apps that we use. I'm a personal fan of Boomerang. This is a really helpful app. It gets installed on Google Chrome and you use it in your Gmail. And then whenever you send an email, you just click Boomerang this email if no reply, and then you can set the date. So whenever I send an email, scheduling an interview or following up with someone, whenever I send that, I click Boomerang, and then in 2 days, if I didn't hear from them, it'll pop back up in my inbox and it reminds me to follow up. So again, whenever you are booked for an interview, either on another podcast or you book someone on your show, use the app Boomerang or some way to remind yourself to follow up. People are not always going to remember to schedule their interviews right away. You have to follow up. Sometimes it takes multiple follow-ups, and of course, 3-4 follow-ups later, you don't hear from them, you might have to go back to square one, but sometimes you just need to follow up. So I really want to emphasize the importance of following up. That is where the interviews happen. Most interviews are booked after multiple follow-ups. So don't give up, just stay persistent, and you will have great interview connections coming your way. I am Jessica Rhodes. I am your host, and I'm committed to helping you leverage your brand through the power of authority and expertise. Check out my podcast, Roads to Success, at roadstosuccesspodcast.com, and my blog, jessicarhodes.biz. If you want to learn how we can work together, go to interviewconnections.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Catch us next Tuesday for another great video. Have a wonderful, productive week, and I will talk to you next week.
Can only want to hold a place on the shoes. Battle at the essence made a claim.